Hello everyone. In our today's class, we are going to discuss about the eigenvalues and eigenfunctions of a linear harmonic oscillator. And we are using the Schrödinger method to find out its eigenvalues and eigenfunctions, that is by polynomial method. So we know that many of the systems can be approximated to a linear harmonic oscillator, and that's why it is a very important type of a problem. So what actually is a linear harmonic oscillator? So it exhibits a very simple type of oscillatory motion where a body, let us say of mass m, will be attached to a spring, and the body will be displaced from its mean position and oscillates to and fro about that mean position, and the restoring force is always directed towards its mean position, and its magnitude will be directly proportional to the displacement, which can be written as F directly proportional to minus x, where x is the displacement of the body of mass m, whereas F is the restoring force. Negative sign implies that the restoring force is acting in the opposite direction of that of the displacement occurred, and that proportionality constant can be written as K, which is a spring constant. And from Newton's law, we have force is equals to mass into acceleration, that can be written as m into d square x by dt square, which will be equal to minus kx. And from this we can write the equation as d square x by dt square plus omega square x equal to 0. Here just we have divided by m, and we know that root of k by m is omega. So we get k by m, that's why we are writing as omega square into x equal to 0. Let us call it as equation number 1. Then another form of definition for a force is, it is defined as negative gradient of potential. So from this definition we can find out what is the potential of this system. So minus del V equal to minus kx. So force is equated to the simple harmonic motion equation, and in order to find out V of x, we are just integrating this, and we get V of x is equals to kx square by 2, and we already have omega is equals to square root of k by m, and that's why we can write k is equals to m into omega square. And this is the formula, or this is the value for potential for linear harmonic oscillator. Then in order to understand its motion, we need to consider the equation of motion in case of quantum mechanics, which is nothing but Schrödinger equation. Here I am considering the time independent Schrödinger equation, that is the wave function xi depends only on the position and not time. So h into xi of x is equals to e into xi of x, and here h is nothing but minus h cross square by 2m into dou square xi by dou x square plus v of x into xi equal to e into xi of x. Substituting the value of v of x, which we have already found out, and solving so that we get a second order differential equation which is of general type. So multiplying by minus 2m by h cross square or dividing by minus h cross square by 2m throughout, we get this equation where we have just brought the RHS term E xi to the left hand side and rearranged it. Let us call it as equation number 2, and it is a second order differential equation. In order to find out its solution, let us consider two terms. First, lambda is equals to 2E by h cross omega. E is nothing but energy, which can be written as h cross omega also. So when you find out that, you get lambda as a constant. So that can be done. Why we are considering that? We will get to know when we solve it. And let y be expressed in terms of x, which will be equal to m omega by h cross whole raised to 1 by 2 into x. So these are the conditions or terms taken under Schrodinger method of solving this problem. And we have y, and we need to find out dou square xi by dou x square, which is in our previous equation, to find the solution of xi. So dou xi by dou x can be written as dou xi by dou y into dou y by dou x, that is using the chain rule, and just finding out what is dou y by dou x from the above equation, it is nothing but square root of m omega by h cross into x is just 1. And again differentiating so that we get dou square xi by dou x square, we are again using the chain rule, that is dou by dou y of dou xi by dou x into dou y by dou x. And again substituting dou y by dou x value, we get dou square xi by dou x square is equals to square root of m omega by h cross into square root of m omega by h cross will be m omega by h cross raised to 1 into dou by dou y of dou xi by dou y is dou square xi by dou y square. Now substituting this value in our previous equation, that is equation number 2, we get m omega by h cross into dou square xi by dou y square plus 2m by h cross square into e minus half m omega square x square into xi equal to 0. Again, in order to just keep the first term without any coefficient, just multiply by h cross by m omega. Then we get dou square xi by dou y square plus h cross by m omega into 2me by h cross square minus m square omega square x square divided by h cross square. The term which was outside the bracket is taken inside into xi equal to 0. And this term again can be simplified by taking h cross by m omega term inside the bracket, and finally we get the equation 3, where we have expressed this second order differential equation using the terms lambda and y. So dou square xi by dou y square plus lambda minus y square into xi equal to 0. So let this be equation number 3. As it is a second order differential equation, we can just find out what is the asymptotic solution. Asymptotic means actually not exact. So here we are considering the limiting case and approximating the result. And finally, using that asymptotic solution, we can generalize the exact solution. So here, the limiting case we are considering is that y is tending to infinity. So what happens for that? Let us see. And when y is tending to infinity, lambda minus y square is approximately equal to minus y square. Because y is infinity, then lambda is going to be negligible. And we are just substituting in our equation number 3 so that we get dou square xi by dou y square minus y square into xi equal to 0. Now easily we can write the solution for this equation, which is xi of x is equals to, or even you can write it as xi of y, because y depends on x, is equals to exponential of plus or minus y square by 2, which is a simple solution for second order differential equation. And here we can observe that it is a second order differential equation, means there will be two different roots. One is a positive root, another one is a negative root. That is exponential of plus y square by 2 and exponential of minus y square by 2. When you consider the positive powered root, we can observe for the asymptotic solution y is tending to infinity. Means the positive power is going to diverge, exponential of plus infinity. But the wave function cannot tend to be equal to infinity. That's why we are going to consider the negative powered root here. So the exact solution can be written as xi of x is equals to exponential of minus y square by 2 into h of y. Let us call it as equation number 5. Here h of y is a Hermite polynomial, and in order to put the solution of this exact solution in our differential equation, let us find out what is dou xi by dou y and dou square xi by dou y square. And when you solve it, we have to use the u into v formula, that is u into differentiation of v plus v into differentiation of u. So when you do it, we can find out the value of dou square xi by dou y square, which is equation number 6. And now we need to substitute this into our previous equation, which is equation number 3. And when you substitute, you get exponential of minus y square by 2 into h double dash minus 2y into h dash plus y square minus 1 into h plus lambda minus y square into exponential of minus y square by 2 into h. So first term we are just substituting the value, and then let's find out the solution of it. So here we are just arranging some terms, the common terms are taken, and we get exponential of minus y square by 2 into h double prime, that is nothing but dou square h by dou y square minus 2y h prime plus lambda minus 1 into h. Because y square and minus y square will get cancelled out, we are remaining with lambda minus 1. And for this equation, we have a solution, that is the solution of h of y, which is the Hermite polynomial, is equals to summation running from n is equals to 0 to infinity of an into y raised to n. And we can find out h prime and h double prime by differentiating it with respect to y. And finally, we are substituting the value of h dash, h double dash and h in our above equation, so that we get an equation only in terms of a, n and y. That is, main is y, which is depending on x. So finally we are left with exponential of minus y square by 2 into summation from n is equals to 0 to infinity an y raised to n minus 2 into n minus 1, which is h double prime, minus summation from n is equals to 0 to infinity an into y raised to n into 2n minus lambda plus 1. Because in the second term we can observe there is 2y h prime, and y with the h prime y raised to n minus 1 will become y raised to n itself. So when you solve it, all the last 3 terms are having y raised to n term, so easily we can take it common. Then next, let us find out the recursion relation, so that we can just collect some terms. What are the different terms? Let us see. And here let us put n is equals to k plus 2 in first summation and n is equals to k in the second summation to find out the recursion relation. And here y raised to k is going to vanish and ak plus 2 can be written in terms of ak, which is as shown, that is ak plus 2 is equals to 2k minus lambda plus 1 divided by k plus 1 into k plus 2 into ak. So when you find this recursion relation, easily we can find different terms, that is it allows the calculation of all even coefficient in terms of a0 and odd coefficient in terms of a1. So when you put k is equals to 0, we find a2, that is the even term in terms of a0. Here when you solve, just we are collecting the terms like we when we do solving by fractions. That is a quadratic equation. What we get here? 2k minus lambda plus 1. So when you put k is equals to 0, just we get lambda plus minus lambda plus 1 divided by 1 into 2, which can be written as 2 factorial. Similarly, when k is equals to 1, we can write a3 is equals to minus lambda plus 3 into 1 minus lambda into a1 divided by 3 factorial, because in the denominator we are having 2 into 3, which is nothing but 1 into 2 into 3 factorial. So here we have found out different terms, and we have the Hermite polynomial h of y is equals to a0 plus a1 into y plus a2 into y square plus a3 into y cube plus so on. And already we have found out some of the values, some of the terms using the recursion relation, which are substituted, and the terms, the higher terms, let us say a4, it is in terms of a2, and a2 we have already found out in terms of a0. So all higher terms can be reduced into a0 and a1 terms. After doing that, we need to just collect the terms with respect to a0 and a1. That is nothing but a0 term represent h even of y, that is even terms, and a1 coefficient represents h odd of y, that is the odd Hermite polynomial. Then it is evident that h even of y and h odd of y are in terms of a0 and a1. And next, by this background, we can find out the energy eigenvalue, which is our final destination, that is to find out eigenvalue and eigenfunction of linear harmonic oscillator. So from polynomial method, because we are using Hermite polynomial, and this method is nothing but Schrodinger method of solving linear harmonic oscillator problem. Here we have the recursion relation, which we have already seen and solved, and if you take the limiting case as k tends to infinity, then ak plus 2 can be written as 2k by k square into ak, because k is tending to infinity means other terms can be just neglected. So k term is going to cancel out. Finally we get ak plus 2 is equals to 2 by k into ak, and we can find out the corresponding wave function in terms of odd and even function. That is, for large k values, the wave function xi of x will be equal to e raised to minus y square by 2 into h of y, we have seen, and this can be splitted up as xi odd, which will be equal to y into e raised to minus y square by 2, and xi even will be with respect to e raised to minus y square by 2. And based on this, we can find out the energy eigenvalue, that is, let us say k is equals to n, that is any integer. So from the recursion relation we can say that 2n plus 1 minus lambda is equals to 0, and when you solve it we get 2e by h cross omega is equals to 2n plus 1, because already we have taken lambda is equals to 2e by h cross omega, and when you solve this we get the energy eigenvalue of linear harmonic oscillator as En is equals to n plus half into h cross omega, where n is equals to 0, 1, 2, 3, so on. So generally the energy value of oscillator is based on the quantum theory, where the energy En will be equal to n into h cross omega. But it is evident that the quantum mechanical energy value is higher than the quantum theory value, that is by half h cross omega. Even when n is equal to 0, En is not going to be equal to 0. That is, even for ground state n is equals to 0, there exists some amount of energy for the system, and that energy is called as the 0 point energy, and this is the manifestation of uncertainty principle. So this is the significance of finding out the energy eigenvalue. Then let us find out the energy separation. So if you put the value of n is equals to 0, we get E naught, that is the energy of the state n equal to 0 as half h cross omega. For E1 we get 1 plus half into h cross omega, that is 3 by 2 h cross omega. Similarly, if you go on finding for different states, then we get the corresponding energy eigenvalue for each energy state. And in order to find out whether the nature is discrete or whether it is quantized, we need to find out the energy separation. And here, if you consider the consecutive states, that is the energy difference between n equal to 1 and n equal to 0, that is E1 and E naught, we get the energy difference as h cross omega. Again E2 minus E1, it is again h cross omega. So we say that the separation, that is energy separation in simple harmonic oscillator problem, it is equal to h cross omega. So we say the energy states are quantized. So they are in equal energy difference. Then coming to the eigenfunction, we already have found out the differential equation, that is d square by dy square of hn of y minus 2y into h dash, that is dh by dy plus 2n hn of y, because we had 2n plus 1 minus lambda, and already we found out in our previous slide that lambda is equals to 2n plus 1, or from this equation we can say lambda is equals to 2n plus 1, and in our differential equation we have the term lambda minus 1 into hn of y. So in place of lambda minus 1 we will just get 2n, and the solution is simple. Here xi n of x is equals to nn into hn of y into exponential of minus y square by 2. Here n of n is nothing but the normalization constant. For any wave function to be valid, it has to be normalized. That's why the solution whatever we have found out by using the asymptotic solution and coming to the exact solution using the Hermite polynomial, we have just substituted with the normalization constant. So for that we need to find out what is the value of n of n, and we have the normalization condition, that is integration from minus infinity to plus infinity. Xi n star into Xi n into dx is equals to 1. And when you substitute the value of Xi n star and Xi n, we get an integral whose value is equal to square root of pi into 2 raised to n into n factorial. So when you solve it, we get the normalization constant value n of n is equals to square root of m omega by h cross pi raised to half into 1 by 2 raised to n into n factorial. So the normalized wave function, that is the eigenfunction for the simple harmonic oscillator problem or linear harmonic oscillator problem, is Xi n of y is equals to square root of m omega by h cross into pi raised to 1 by 2 into 1 by 2 raised to n into n factorial into hn of y into exponential of minus y square by 2. So this gives the eigenfunction value. And if you put n is equals to 0, 1, 2, 3 and so on, we can find out xi naught of x. Then when we know the different values of Hermite polynomial, that is h naught of y which is equals to 1, h1 of y which is equals to 2y, h2 of y which is equals to 4y square minus 2 and so on, just we need to substitute for different states. So here h naught of y is nothing but 1. Then xi1 of x will be equal to 1 by root 2 into m omega by h cross into pi whole raised to 1 by 4 into h1 of y, that is 2y, into exponential of minus y square by 2. Similarly, for n is equals to 2, we get xi2 of x. So we have found out what is the energy eigenvalue as well as the eigenfunction for linear harmonic oscillator. And now, based on different terms, we need to graphically interpret the results. And when you plot it, we get this type of nature. For linear harmonic oscillator, we found that V of x, that is the potential, is a function of x, that is V of x is directly proportional to x square. So we get this parabolic nature. And along y-axis, we plot energy as well as wave function. So these are the different energy states, that is at n equal to 0, n equal to 1, n equal to 2 and corresponding energies based on energy eigenvalue, that is n plus half into h cross omega. And these waves represent the wave function xi of x. One thing we need to remember is that the energy states are quantized. So the energy difference should be equal. And it should be equal to h cross omega. So here we can observe the wave function based on the values of xi naught of x. Then coming to xi1 of x, where there are two curves, xi2 of x, 3, xi3 of x, 4 and so on. Again, based on this, you can find out what is the curve for probability as a function of x. So the curve which is, or the wave function which is in the negative direction is going to become in terms of positive direction because it is going to be real. And here one thing we need to see is that barrier penetration is observed. So when you observe or when you plot the wave function for the linear harmonic oscillator, we have seen that the solution is in terms of exponential of minus y square by 2 and it will be always even. But The eigenfunction depends on the Hermite polynomial also, that is Hn of y, and this Hn of y may be even or odd based on the value of n. If n is even, then Hn of y is even, where if n is odd, then Hn of y will be again odd. So based on that, it is noted that the quantum oscillator, that is the linear harmonic oscillator, can be found even outside the parabolic potential barrier, because the wave function xi does not vanish as it is in case of classical mechanics. Or in other words, you can say that the particles can penetrate the potential barrier to some extent, not too much but some extent. And this barrier penetration is an important feature of quantum mechanics in case of linear harmonic oscillator. And this problem, which is a linear harmonic oscillator problem, is very important because most of the systems can be approximated to this linear harmonic oscillator problem. So this is about the third application where we studied about energy eigenvalues as well as eigenfunctions of a linear harmonic oscillator using Schrodinger method. So this is for today's class. Thank you.